my crypto bit brothers and sisters. Long time no see. Papa Ron and I are back for a little while.
A little while.
Yeah, we just taking a break, right, Ron?
Yeah, we appreciate all the concern and the comments we've had. People are wondering if we're, well, not me, if Rod's sick or passed away or... I'm the epitome of health. Everybody can see that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Ron very seldom ever gets sick, man. That old boy, I don't know. He's got a good constitution, man. Me, I'm always sick. No, but we just took a little break. We just, it's been over a year we've been doing this, and
tell him the truth. I got a new girlfriend and didn't have time, folks.
That's exactly it.
And I dropped her as fast as I got her. She is now gone. Well, I should tell the truth. She dropped me.
He burns through them women like fire, man.
I need to find me a crypto girl. That's what I need to find. Somebody that's got some focus in life. What's going on? Which kind of takes us to our topic, Rod, today. What's going on a little bit. And folks, everybody knows that Bitcoin and crypto, I mean, there's things going on in the market and the industry but it's kind of flatlined. I mean, there's nothing really astounding. I mean, but anyway, we want to talk about a few things today. But before we get started, we want to mention this one article here, and as Greg Hunter calls it, this is too stupid to be stupid. Comes out of Zero Hedge.
Wait a minute. We can't say that. The British Isles has Scotland part of it, and they've always worn kilts.
Well, true, but they had historical value and there was purpose in that. But today they call it gender neutral. They don't want anybody to feel like... To me, it's more confusing on these kids, Rod, than anything. They're giving them doubts about who they really are and what their purpose in life is and their biology. I mean, they're saying, hey, if you want to be a boy, little girl, you can be one, I mean, to me, it's confusing to them. It messes with their minds and who they are. So no, I'm taking a stand on this, folks. I don't care what the political agenda is on this.
Well, who in the hell? This political
I knew that would get them
correctness.
Going.
Yeah, this freaking political correctness is a bunch of BS, man. If I ever seen one, that a man's a man, a woman's a woman. Come on.
Of course, I don't know. We're old school folks, but Rod is right. I mean, we have a belief in God, and there's purpose in how the whole creation process is. And anyway, we're not going to belabor this too long, but we just kind of got a kick out of this article. It's kind of hot out.
Hey, wait a minute. Scroll down. And you can see the foot on the ball, a kick out of this. Hey, Ron, you made a pun. Didn't even know it.
A kick out of this?
Yeah, well, that's what you said, Rod, and I get a kick out of this.
That's right. But evidently the temperatures were so hot, some of the boys wanted to wear shirts, and they said, sorry, that's not in the dress code anymore, but skirts are. And you're more than welcome to put one on and prance around a little bit in that.
I think those skirts need to be plaid, so at least they'll follow with the Scottish.
Now, folks, don't take this wrong. We are not... we would never push our views on somebody else. If you want to put your boy in a skirt, that's up to you, but we're entitled to our personal views also. And that's kind of the way we look at this. Hope we haven't offended anyone. Probably did. Yeah. So let's get moving on, Rod. I had a call from my son-in-law that kind of ties into what we're talking about too.
Yeah, y'all all remember his son-in-law. He married his daughter.
And he's probably listening, so I'm not going to... Anyway, I still call him, hey, how's your boyfriend doing? It drives her nuts, Tell your boyfriend that... So he called me the other day and says, what's going on in crypto? It's kind of flatlined, and do you think it'll ever go up? Do you think we're kind of maxed out and this and that? And Rod, we kind of just talked a few minutes and kind of rehearsed kind of what's going on that we've discussed on our videos, along with how much is going on that we don't know about. Like just recently, Coinbase, they're opening up an office or an exchange over in Japan. I mean, things are moving, and we talked about how it was Goldman Sachs, one of their top dog, Jamie Dimon or one of them, I don't remember, but they were talking about how there's billions of dollars waiting on the sidelines to get into crypto. And that's why they're pushed to get the infrastructure built for the big institutional investors and all those guys that are going to come into this. And I think some of that is happening.
Yep.
So no, and they're not coming in, like we've mentioned before, Rod, to make 5 or 10% on their money. They're coming in. These guys are serious, and they want to make serious bucks on this. So we discussed all these.
The more you invest in it, the more you'll get out of it.
Yes. So I kind of just covered all this with him and said, hey, we're just going through that phase right now where you just kind of got to sit tight. Let these guys take it up and what they need to do with it. And then, of course, Rod and I have talked about, and that's what we're going to get into a little bit. There was an article on the IMF, International Monetary Fund. And here's the article, folks. IMF says Bitcoin could create less demand for regular debt-based fiat money. Well, that's we believe is a true statement.
That's a no-brainer. They're just now coming on board.
I think they know what's going on, but this is an interesting article. They go through, and I guess the IMF had a report done talking about the future of the financial industry and where it's headed and this and that. Matter of fact, Rod, they had an image on if you go onto IMF's website, I think this image is on their front page right now. It talks about the evolution kind of money and where it's gone. And of course, interesting, they got the old Bitcoin there at the end, that we've moved into this digital age, and kind of be part of it. But anyway, I want to read you some of the stuff this article's in here. We're not going to do a lot of reading, but there's some clues in here, and Rod and I always try to read between the lines and kind of say, well, what'd she say that for? But anyway, they had this report done. A lot of people within the IMF contributed to this report. And part of it said, she made the quote, I think, that someday cryptocurrencies could someday lower the demand for fiat currencies by creating a shift from credit money to commodity money. Like when it first started, commodity money being that things of value, commodities, food stuff, gold, silver, I guess. And so crypto could be a commodity that is traded and so on. And they made the comment that it'll be more widely adopted. So what does that tell you, folks, also? That there is going to be a push on this. You just need to let them get their stuff in order. And if they want to keep it manipulated low, that's what they're going to do. And when it's time to take this up, they're going to. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, she made the comment, we cannot rule out the possibility that some crypto assets will eventually be more widely adopted and fulfill more of the functions of money in some regions or private e-commerce networks. So now let me get to the stuff that I thought was kind of interesting. The study notes that a global financial crisis and bank bailouts, again, like Deutsche Bank and so on, they've renewed skepticism in some quarters. So they realize that the central banks, have had their problems, and people are looking for new, safer, more decentralized avenues of exchanging value, which crypto falls within. Down here's what I really want to talk about, Rod. Here she is, folks. You all know who she is. Legrand. How do you say her name, Rod?
I thought it was Legrand, but it could be Legrand.
I don't see it on
It
here.
just depends on how she pronounces it. I don't know.
Competitive pressure and the allure of central bank coin. A central bank coin, of the central bank coin. The IMF paper is what this article's all about. They had a report done. Also details how banks should respond with competitive pressure, and they should continue to solidify fiat currencies as a unit of account. Now, folks, those of you who don't know, a unit of account would be like, I think, we in the United States put a unit of account in dollars. For example, a car is worth $2,000. I mean, we use that as a term to give it a... Does that sound right, Rod?
Yeah, value.
Yeah, the value of something.
Yeah.
So she says we should continue on with fiat to have it a unit of account. Cryptocurrencies, however, have a hard time becoming a standard unit of account. The IMF notes that this is because valuation is largely based on beliefs that are not well anchored, which has made the majority of digital currencies quite volatile. Now, here's the problem. They're saying crypto is kind of volatile, up and down, it's not stable, and this and that. And so they go on to talk about this is why the IMF, and we need a global type coin or something that is standardized, that isn't so volatile, that a central bank can kind of regulate and control. Now, some of this I'm kind of reading between the lines on. The researchers' paper mentions that central banks could counteract with their own digital currencies. It goes on to say that the banks have many challenges and opportunities in the digital age, but they must regain the public's trust to remain relevant. They can remain relevant by providing more stable units of account than crypto assets, and by making central bank money attractive at a medium or exchange in the digital economy, the IMF paper says. So, yeah, they want to come up with something that's stable, that's used, that can be used everywhere. And as if crypto is still volatile, this kind of goes back to what we've talked about before, Rod.
Yeah.
They can all of a sudden say, well, wait a minute, folks. You know, these decentralized things just are not working. You can't go to the store and know if your cup of coffee is going to cost 50 cents today or $3.50 because of the price fluctuation in Bitcoin. So, folks, we got to get standardized here. We got to do away with all this stuff that's so volatile. And if you wanted digital crypto, we've got one. And it's working well. And it's... No, Rod, I can really see this happening.
Yeah, but then we come just like regular fiat and like gold and silver. It's manipulated.
Well, you're right. And that goes back to our original question. Do we think these bankers are just going to walk away and say, yeah, we've kind of made our money the last however many years, and now you decentralized folks, go ahead and run with it? They're not a chance in Hades. They're going to make their mark, and if they're piling into this, which we've already established in several videos previous to this one.
Yes, we have.
They've got a plan of attack. They're not going to walk away and let us have our own currency and the freedom of that without them having their mitts somewhere on it. Do we believe that really? I don't know. And we might be wrong. I might be wrong. What do you think, Rod?
No, you're not wrong. I think it has to go this way because, just like you said, you have to have stability in some kind of a monetary system, be it Bitcoin, be it fiat, be it gold, or whatever. Unfortunately, what's unfortunate to me is that we have crooked people running it.
There you go. And the manipulation
I
isn't a true standardized. It's not a true. Let's keep this to where a cup of coffee is the same, where people know what they're going to buy when they go.
Yeah.
But you're right. The problem is they want to continue to rape it. Go ahead. I cut you off. Sorry.
Well, I was just also thinking fiat, or not fiat, but cryptocurrency could become stable if they would just let it go. They would let it go. Everything eventually will level out. I mean, we'll kind of get to a point where it becomes enough people's involved, the regular people involved, that it just goes. Right now, crypto is it's like a flood of water coming in to a canyon or something. It's real rough and stuff. But after the water stops coming in so hard, it levels out and becomes. To me, I don't know.
No, I think
maybe I don't understand.
No, I want to say bingo. You're right on the money on that, and that's the thing.
So if we would just, if the government would just stay out of the freaking way, all this stuff would.
It'll work itself out. That's right.
Yes, it will.
Right.
But no, they have to get in there because they have to help us. They have to help us do what we have to. I just get so mad.
It's because we're not smart enough to control our own destiny. And it's all about greed and power. They want to control. So you're right. We've said the same things before, but you're right. If they would just let it go, it'll do that.
It'll stabilize itself.
So anyway, I still believe
it may take a while because right now we're just 2 or 3, 4% of the population of the whole world involved in it. Boy, just think if everything got involved in it, it'd level out pretty quick.
That's right. It'll hit a value of supply and demand and all that and so on. No, I agree with you, Rod. Listen, we want to wrap this video up a little bit by talking about there was another article, and we thought about maybe making a separate video, but let's tie it into this real quick, Rod.
Okay, let's do it.
Title of it is Bitcoin Worthless in an Apocalypse Scenario. And this guy goes through this article, and of course he's a short seller, and he thinks that Bitcoin is just another type of fad. The exact way he put it was under the guise of
yeah.
Folks, I didn't go to college, so don't hold me accountable for anything I can't read.
Technological
disruption.
Right.
I
didn't go to college. Hell, you're going to college now? You go every freaking day, just about.
I just go to have fun with some of it. No, I haven't been all this semester, but I take a class a semester, folks, just to hang around those young kids, and I dabble in things I want to do. It's been fun. Anyway, back on course. So
you like to go in called chaos.
I do too. Yeah. I took a class on social. What was it? Social. Anyways, all the problems in the world, and boy, did I have some doozies to bring up. I think that professor, got tired of me. And then we got to make a presentation, kind of like our final thing. I'm not going to tell you what it was on because it'll cause more havoc now, but. So this article, this guy goes on to say that, hey, if we have what's that word, Rod? An apocalypse type scenario. Let's say all the financial industry goes down, the banks shut down, the stock market shuts down, Bitcoin will be worthless. And Rod and I were kind of talking about this prior to the show, and he says, not Rod, but the author of this article says, what'll be more valuable than Bitcoin would be food. And he's exactly right. There are, food, water. I mean, we get that. Metals. I mean, if your fiat system isn't working, metals will definitely go up, gold and silver. But the more we explored this a little bit, Well, let's first go into this a little bit that we kind of believe that we are headed, not necessarily to an apocalyptic scenario, but folks, we're headed to some rough times. I mean, look at, they keep telling us that the job numbers are up and things are rosy, but we're just going to skim through this real quick. Now, this is for 2018. I don't see a title to this. 2018 retail closings. Sears and Kmart, 63 more stores this year. And there's the cities they're closing.
Look at all of them.
Now look at some of these. Subway's closing 500 restaurants.
Oh, they are?
That's average 10 per state. And I know they're worldwide, but anyway. Bonton, I've never even heard of this store, 256. GNC, 200 stores.
Oh, wow.
Toys R Us, another 700 this year. We know they're suffering.
Yeah.
J. Crew, 20. Abercrombie and Fitch, 60. Foot Locker, 110 stores.
Oh, my God.
Look at this. Best Buy.
Best Buy?
250 stores they're shutting down this year.
Yeah, I'll live at that place.
I know. JCPenney, 8. Of course, they've already had a ton go out already. Hey, look at this.
Oh, my heck. Sam's Club?
63 stores they're planning to close. Now, they're going to turn 12 of them, the article says, will be converted into e-commerce fulfillment centers. So what's that, like an Amazon? You order on e-commerce and they ship it to you or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Macy's 11, Gap and Republic 200, 370. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, it does. It does. It's
That's
crazy.
putting a lot of people out of work. Now, what's gonna replace all these?
Well, to be fair, there's another article that says, "Hey, these are the companies that are expanding this year." So there is some expansion. But as I looked through those stores, there wasn't anything like. I'll tell you, on the expansion, Rod, most of them were Dollar General, dollar stores, under $5. Yeah, ones that people on budgets are more apt to shop in. They're on the expansion.
Just goes to show you that people don't have as much money, or the money is not valuable enough.
Right.
So we have to go over to the freaking Chinese to buy all this stuff. There again, our trade deficit gets all screwed up again.
That's what our presidency's trying to work out. Here's a couple more quick headlines.
Okay.
European implosion sounds panic through global markets as George Soros warns we might be headed for another major financial crisis.
Wow, look at there.
Here comes another global financial crisis. And folks, and these are both articles that came out today, I think, or yesterday. There's just a lot of them. There's a lot of red flags right now. Will crypto survive? That was the question.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so too. Either the government's going to transform into a digital type system, but our government, most governments, cannot live without electricity and the internet. It's all related anymore. Even our utilities like your water and power, that's all based on the internet and electricity. We can't do without it. They'll have to get this stuff up and running again. And so if you have crypto, I think it's going to survive that. It might not be right away, but I think it is. But folks, we've also harped on that you got to diversify, get some silver and gold put up,
food put up,
foodstuffs. Hey,
you better really stock up on toilet paper, man. That'll be in demand.
Rod, you know how many I have, right? I have 3,000 rolls of toilet paper, folks. I'm going to be bartering that stuff for anything I want.
Oh, you bet, man.
Yeah.
I'll be worth its weight in gold, man.
And I've got plenty of alcohol put up, too. I'll be getting Rod to do any chores I need him to do.
You bet, baby.
Folks, we love doing this. We've been pretty busy, like Rod says. I don't know if we're going to be on every day, but as pertinent things come up, we'll definitely be out there with it. And we'll put these articles in the description box so you can read them. I hope we didn't belabor this too long, Rod, did we?
No, I don't think so.
You've got to be conscientious of this Bitcoin. You got to read between the lines. we got two sides of the fence, and we've talked about that. You got the centralized people, like we just read about, and you got the decentralized that we want.
Yeah.
Whether that's going to come together into one central form or whether you're going to have two parties, we don't know. But you got to be prepared for either way so you know what to do financially.
Yeah.
When to pay that house off, when to cash out back into fiat. You got to have some clues, which takes study. Matter of fact, Rod, I was watching a live video earlier this morning. I'm not going to give who it was, and I don't, occasionally if there's something going on, I'm on the internet, and I'll say, yeah, I'll go listen. Well, I was reading the comments on this live show, and you can't believe how many people were asking questions. Just, this is paraphrased, all right? Just tell me what to do. Do I need to cash out of this? Do I need to buy this? Do I need to? And it's like, oh my heck, you're going to follow this, which Rod and I are, YouTube people, but it's like they just wanted this YouTube person to tell them exactly what to do. They didn't want to do any studying on their own. Just, hey, you must know, so whatever you tell us, we're going to do. That's got to be the right thing. Folks, you got to get in this on your own. You got to say, man, what is right? We're just trying to bring you some things to think about and come to your own conclusions. You got to study this on your own and get your game plan together. So when certain scenarios happen, you know what to do. For example, Rod and I both, and now I'm really going off in the deep end, sorry, Rod, but we have a 24-hour plan. If this thing happens, like let's say the banks close one Monday.
Yeah.
We open our book. Here's what I'm going to do the first 24 hours. Those banks are closed. Here's what I'm going to do the first 48 and the first 7 days. Whatever scenario happens, if the electricity goes out permanently nationwide, or the internet, here's my 24-hour plan, and so on. And we know what our plan is, and we move into action. We suggest everybody get a game plan together.
Get your families together and talk about it. Because, your kids, man, they live with that internet. If they went down, man, they'd die. I know my grandkids would.
Yeah. Back to you, Rod.
All right. We appreciate you folks joining us today. And we just really, that's how come Ron and I never tell you to, hey, buy this coin or buy that coin or what. You have to make up your own mind and do what's right for you. Make your plan out because everybody's plan cannot be the same because everybody's different. Every family's different. So you just to harp on tail on to what Ron was saying. And I appreciate you guys watching and following us. Appreciate the little comments saying, hey, where we are, and is Rod dead yet? Well, I'm still alive and kicking, and we appreciate you guys. God bless.